Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I had a couple of beers. I was not going to do another video today, but this one is fairly important. As of right now, the stock market today is down 2,000 points and hovering slightly higher and lower. Who knows what's going to happen for the rest of the day, but it has been struggling weekly to go a little bit higher, but that doesn't appear to be in the cards for today. So that means that we've gone from 29,000, almost 30 in the stock market, to 21,000 something. That is a drop of roughly 30% in less than a month. So we have to start asking questions. At what point do we call this a recession? At what point do we call this a depression? At what point do we call this a stock market crash? Because personally, with a 30% drop in 3 weeks, I would call that a stock market crash. When it loses 1/3 of the value of the entire stock market, with no end in sight, and like I've said many times, the supply chain is disrupted, the oil production is disrupted. All of this put together, this isn't looking good. What follows from here is only a spiral downward. So, at the same time, right now, with interest rates going down, there's some good news for a limited number of people. If you're in the market right now for buying property, a house, etc., then now is probably a good time. As the interest rate hits 0, then you can probably get a really good deal on it. That obviously depends on your position, in which case you have to be really honest with yourself. Just how stable is your condition right now? Because things that have been financially stable in the past don't really apply right now. If you're in retail, it really depends on what you sell. If you previously thought that you were financially sound because you own stocks, well, you're absolutely out of luck right now. And I'm not happy for people that can't afford to lose this money to be losing it right now. This is tragic. There are a lot of people that are going to be really hurting right now. And I hate to see it. I wish that I had advice to give that would prevent it, to reverse it for the people at the bottom of the spectrum, but I don't. I've been offering what advice I could for quite a while now, through my writing, through my videos, I've been telling people this was coming, but, not many people wanted to listen. As long as they still saw the numbers creeping up, they still believed in the stock market. But it was all built on shadows, reflections, fantasy, funny money. So it had to come crashing down sooner or later. And it just was waiting on the right trigger. And the coronavirus just happened to be that trigger. There was there could have been something else. It didn't have to be this. It could have been something else. It could have been another war. It could have been the collapse of one particular industry that set off a domino effect. To a large degree, you can look at it as the oil industry right now being the keystone in this domino effect. So, it's so many things coming together all at once. But, so, there are good points for some people. And like I said, if you're looking for property, now's the time to buy, because it's within the next few days, equity buyers, equity owners are going to be liquidating their assets. Because they bought as an investment. And now other investments are completely falling down around their ears. And you can bet that most equity investors have a number of different investments. So they're losing money on the stock market. They don't see much hope in renting out or selling property at a higher value. If you own rental property right now, you might see that as a stable position. But then again, look who you're renting to. How stable is their position? You can go after them as aggressively as you choose, but if you wind up evicting somebody because they don't have the money to pay their rent and they wind up homeless, they don't have the money to pay you. I don't care how aggressively you go after them. If they wind up having to move to cheaper property or winding up homeless, or, define homelessness. A person that's moving in with friends is effectively homeless because they don't have their own home. If they move back in with their parents, if that's an option, or relatives, whatever, they don't have their own home. They are homeless. Too many people think homeless means living in a tent. Homeless can mean living in hotels. Homeless can mean living with relatives. Homeless can mean living with a roommate whose lease is in their name. You don't have your own home, and that effectively makes you homeless. Too many people have this one single image of what homelessness is. So, if a person doesn't have the money to pay, they don't have the money to pay. So if you own rental property, which is equity investment, then your position may not be that stable. If you own investment property that you rent to businesses. Your position may not be that stable if that business is not doing well. You should know this by now. Anyway, yeah, I'm waiting to see what the rest of the day brings to the stock market. And if you can afford $1 a month, please help me and to continue my message, because I'm still going to keep this going. I don't care who wins this 2020 election. I will continue my message. And I will continue to focus on the issues. So, anyway, I hope you have a good day. If you can donate, I'm putting the PayPal link below and the link to my website. Please follow, subscribe to this channel, and hit like, just because I don't, at this point, really get anything out of it, but allegedly at some point I do. So, anyway, have a good day. If you've got money in the stock market, maybe now is the time to be pulling it out. So, thank you. Goodbye.